When people talk about candidates for the worst game of all time, they usually bring up games like E.T. on the Atari 2600 or Big Rigs Over-the-Road Racing on PC, and I mean for good reason, those games are total abortions. For me though, it just doesn't get any worse than Fugitive Hunter: The War on Terror for the PS2. Released in 2004 during the throes of post-9/11 paranoia, Fugitive Hunter seems absolutely absurd by modern standards. The central premise of the game is that you're an agent for a military strike force called Cypher. Your task? Airdrop into Afghanistan and beat the crap out of Saddam Hussein, Osama bin Laden, and any other infidels dumb enough to get in your way. But hey, Metacritic user Vinny D liked it, stating, "Fugitive Hunter is awesome, one of the best games out there. Why would anyone give it a bad review?" To which GameSpot/Giant Bomb's Brad Shoemaker replies, "It's a short game with bland mechanics, repetitive levels, and almost zero replay value. And that's not even taking into account the total absurdity of getting into a fistfight with Osama bin Laden." Point Brad. In case you thought this game was actually going to be fun, Fugitive Hunter dashes those hopes pretty quickly with its full-motion video intro of anthrax attacks, bombed-out husks of buildings, and gravestones of terrorism victims. Thanks a lot, game. I didn't want to smile today anyway. Then the actual game starts. Now you might be looking at this and saying, "I thought this was a fighting game." Well, with Fugitive Hunter, you not only get a shitty fighting game, you also get a shitty first-person shooter as well. Which is a shame because, quite frankly, a tournament fighter where you fist-fought Al-Qaeda leaders could have been just psychotic enough to work. Instead, we're just mowing down terrorists with a variety of weapons while our hero lazily spouts idiotic one-liners like he's been freebasing elephant tranquilizer.
Torch you up. You're crazy, man. You're crazy.
Although the shooting is broken beyond belief, with unresponsive controls that make it nearly impossible to aim, the real disaster only starts once we get into the fighting portion. I mean, the premise alone boggles my mind. You were just holding a flamethrower! What's the point of fist-fighting this infamous criminal rather than just setting his ass on fire? The fighting itself is a button-mashing train wreck. There's no strategy involved beyond just hitting the punch and kick buttons as fast as you can and hoping the game feels generous. There is a help menu that has combos you can pull off, but bringing it up doesn't pause the game. Excuse me, could you hold on a second, Osama? I'm trying to figure out how to Hadouken here. So in the end, my strategy of endlessly stomping on his toes fails and I get knocked out. Just to add insult to injury, the game freezes. What a perfect final image from this complete train wreck of a game.